In addition to our eyesight and hearing, we also have the senses of touch, taste, and smell, as well as the kinesthetic and vestibular sense. In today's notes, which correspond to Unit 4, Sections 14 to 16, we will learn a few features of these other important senses. Touch, first of all, is detected by sensory receptor sites in your body tissue. Touch is a mix of 4 distinct senses: pressure, warmth, cold, and pain. Researchers have only been able to identify unique receptors for pressure, as you can see in the diagram. The others all look identical, like this, although they serve different purposes. Pain receptors tell the body something is wrong, usually from tissue damage. You can feel pain from a burn, a cut, a torn ligament, a damaged muscle, a broken bone, or other causes. Pain receptor sites send neural messages to the brain, which the brain then interprets as pain. If these messages do not get through, for example, in the case of a spinal cord damage, you do not feel pain, even though you still have an injury. A rare disorder exists in which individuals do not feel pain. We will watch a video about this disorder in class, but if you are not in class, it is linked to the Moodle site. It's called A Life Without Pain. Although we all think we would like not to feel pain, this disorder makes you realize how critical pain is. It is the feedback that prevents us from destroying our bodies. Two researchers, Melzack and Wall, developed the gate control theory of pain. They believe our spinal cord has certain neurological gates, like this, that allow pain messages to proceed or block them. Again, blocking pain messages means we do not feel the pain, although we still have the injury. Pain can be alleviated or relieved in a number of ways. Drugs, especially endorphin agonists, can prevent pain messages from being sent by blocking neural transmission. Another interesting way to relieve pain is stimulation of neural fibers. This is why, if your leg hurts, rubbing it can actually help. The rubbing or massage sends simultaneous messages which can block or minimize the pain message. Similarly, distraction can actually relieve pain. If your mind is focused on something else, your brain will actually be less aware of pain. Meditation works in this way also by focusing the brain away from pain. Placebos can also reduce pain by causing endorphin release. Nerve blocks simply prevent pain signals from being processed. An example is an epidural, which is a fairly common procedure during childbirth. One important message to remember about pain is that no two people feel pain exactly the same way. People have different expectations about pain, different ways of responding to pain, and different thresholds of pain. Your interpretation of pain depends on biology, including endorphin production, how much attention you pay to pain, the empathy of others, and even cultural expectations. Next, let's consider the kinesthetic and vestibular sense. Sensors in your joints, bones, tendons, ears, and skin create your kinesthetic sense, your awareness of the movement of your body. This is a sense we truly take for granted. We don't have to think about how to sit up or stand up. We know how to position our bodies to jump or roll. The best way to understand this sense is to think about not having it. Ian Waterman lost his kinesthetic sense due to a rare infection. He was completely unable to sit up or stand, but he taught himself how to do these things again with conscious effort. We will also watch a video about Ian Waterman in class, and it is available on Moodle. His case is also discussed in the textbook. Your vestibular sense monitors your head position and movement. Tiny vestibular sacs in the semicircular canals of your inner ear keep track of your head position at all times and help you to stay upright or to know if you're upside down. One experiment that is done in the vestibular sense is to place subjects in a tilted room with a chair that also tilts. Let me move the arrows so you can see it better. They are then asked to make themselves upright. Some people will align themselves to the room, as the person in this image has done. In other words, they'll put themselves at the same angle as the floor lines. Others will align themselves to gravity. So, in other words, they would actually align themselves like this. So they will be out of sync with the room. People who adjust using their vestibular sense, not their visual cues, are called field independent. They have a stronger inner sense of balance. Now we'll move on to the sense of taste. Researchers have identified 5 types of taste receptors: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. For a long time, the tastes were narrowed to sweet, like sugar, sour, like a lemon, salty, like salt, and bitter, like dark coffee. More recently, researchers have added umami, which is the taste in poultry. It's thought that the umami taste is what alerts us to protein in food. People differ in their sensitivity to taste. Young children have more taste receptor sites, or taste buds, so they experience taste much more vividly. This is why they often dislike and reject foods that taste good to adults. Some people remain very sensitive to taste their entire lives. They are called super tasters. They find many foods too intense and as a result are often thinner. PROP is a substance that is used to test for taste sensitivity. Super tasters, when they try it, they find it very bitter. Medium tasters find it moderately bitter, and non-tasters find it tasteless. There's some correlation between super tasters and introversion. Super tasters are more sensitive to stimuli, so it makes sense that these would go together. Non-tasters, like extroverts, need more stimulus to have a sensation. In class, we'll perform a brief experiment to see if you are a super taster. Taste and smell are both chemical senses, unlike vision and hearing, which rely on light and sound waves. And taste and smell are closely related. Try holding your nose while eating something. How much can you taste? In most cases, without smell, you can taste very little. That's why it's hard to taste food when you have a head cold. Sensory interaction, or synesthesia, occurs when two senses combine. Some people say they can taste colors or see sounds. These rare occurrences would also be synesthesia. You should recall from our brain unit that smell is the one sense that is not routed through the thalamus. The sense of smell involves olfactory receptor cells in your nasal cavity. These cells can detect up to 10,000 different odors. These receptor cells deliver messages to the olfactory nerve, which sends them directly to the olfactory bulb. The olfactory bulb, right here, is located very close to the hypothalamus in the limbic system, which researchers believe explains why smell is so associated so strongly with memories. When you smell something that you smelled years ago, you can easily be transported back to that event. However, oddly, you cannot call memories of smells to mind. Researchers also believe smell plays a very strong role in mating selection for people as well as animals. In one recent study, women smelled men's t-shirts and were more attracted to the scents of men who had different immune system genes, which could be an adaptation that helps the survival of offspring. On a final note, the sense of smell peaks between ages 20 and 50 and then declines as we age. Also, as you can see on average, women have a better sense of smell than men.